Welcome to Oracle Application Express, the user interface, allowing users to make UI changes. I wanted to wrap up our user interface lessons by showing you a quick trick to give users the ability to change how their user interface elements look on their page. This is the page for editing movies that we've been using up to this point. I'm going to create a couple of buttons on this page, and when the user selects those buttons, I'm going to change the background colors of this application. There's no way to give end users the ability to change all of the different components of their applications the way you can as a developer, but you can programmatically give them different options so they can go through and make changes to how things are presented on the screen. I'm going to edit this page, and in my Edit Movie region, under Region Buttons, I'm going to add a new button. I can right-click and say Create. I'm going to give the button name a name of Make Yellow. I can call it anything I want. The label is what's going to show up on the screen, so I'm going to leave that as Make Yellow. The sequence will determine how the buttons are displayed on my screen, going from left to right. So I'm going to leave this as a sequence of 50, have it on the top right of the page. Now I need to assign what happens when the user clicks the button. I have a couple of predefined actions for me already. One of them is called Define by Dynamic Action. After I finish creating the button, I'm going to go in and define my dynamic action that will be triggered when the button's clicked. I'm not going to make the button conditional, but this is a good example of where you can make a conditional visual element on the screen. You may have a series of users who you consider power users who you want to give the ability to change user interface elements. Other users who are not power users can have the button hidden from them by writing a query in the condition type. So now if I run this page, I'll see the Make Yellow button there, but it doesn't do anything because I haven't assigned a dynamic action to it yet. Here's my Make Yellow button, and if I click on it, nothing happens. I'm going to create a new dynamic action. I can call this dynamic action anything I want. I can call it Make Yellow. This page of the wizard asks me, when is this dynamic action triggered? It's triggered when I click the Make Yellow button. So I'm going to select Click. I'm going to select Button. I'm going to select the Make Yellow button. And I don't have any conditional statements that go along with the clicking of the button, so I'm just going to leave that as no condition. I now have to define what happens when this condition is met. I can do a whole bunch of different things on my page dynamically. In this case, I'm going to set a style. There is no drop-down box for this, but you can search on the internet for all of the different types of CSS styles that you can set. I'm going to set background color to yellow. Now I have to say what I actually want to affect when this is triggered. You can see I can change items, buttons, regions, objects, jQuery selectors, triggering elements. I want to change a region. And the region I want to change is the Edit Movie region. I'm going to go through and create another button just for fun. And this one I'm going to call Make Blue. Since it has a sequence of 60, it'll be to the right of my Make Yellow button. If I gave it a lower sequence number than my Make Yellow button, which is 50, it would be to the left of the button. Just like before, I want to call a dynamic action. I don't have any conditions, so I create the button, but as of right now, it doesn't do anything because nothing's assigned to it. I'm going to create a dynamic action. I'm going to call this one Make Blue. When a certain button is clicked, I want to trigger this dynamic action. I want to set a style, and I want to set background color to blue. I want it to act on the region. I select the Edit Movie region. Now it's set. You'll notice I didn't click anything yet, and it automatically came up as blue. We don't want that to happen. We want to change the page dynamically as the user clicks these different buttons. So why did it automatically default to blue? We go back to Edit Page, and we look at our dynamic actions, and we scroll down to the True action. You can see this one is fired on page load. We don't want that to happen. The same is going to be true for the Make Yellow. Let's run this page again. Now it looks like a normal page, but if I click the yellow, it changes the background to yellow, and if I click the Make Blue button, it changes it to blue. You can set just about any CSS element inside of your dynamic actions when you define them for the different buttons that are on the screen. So a real nice way of giving users the ability to customize the application and the way the application looks inside their browser is to provide them with a standard set of buttons. These standard sets of buttons will allow the end users to go through and make changes to how the information is displayed on the screen. All of these little pieces of code give your end users a greater level of engagement inside of your applications. The more they can personalize their applications, the more they can get the information that they need on a regular basis to do their jobs, the more successful you'll be as an Oracle Application Express developer.